And we're back.
Welcome to the Crystal Lady Podcast. Today it's gonna get kind of weird up in here. Does everyone know what we're talking about today?
Well,
no, inform us.
We're talking
Does the
about
audience know?
Well, I'm asking if you guys all know. Today we were planning on talking about paranormal stuff, ghosts, aliens, black holes, theories of the universe, conspiracy theories, parallel universes.
We can't consider a black hole paranormal. But
No, but you said you had some shit you want to say about black holes.
Yeah.
No, dude, they're paranormal. I don't believe in black holes.
I don't believe in black holes. They don't exist.
Read and
Okay,
watch.
so paranormal stuff. Where do we want to dive in here? Do we want to start?
I want to start
with a
with
drink.
you.
You want to start with me?
Well, we can drink first, but yes.
Okay, so
Because you're like paranormal.
You're the one who this whole thing could just be her talking about it.
So I love things that are like a little dark and twisted and creepy and spooky. I comfortably fall asleep to documentaries like about cults and like weird like portals and nexuses to like the underworld. I think it's just interesting. I don't know that I believe anything specifically other than
Ghosts.
I mean, you've got a wealth of information about cults right there. He's both the leader and a follower.
yeah, Nick is both the leader and the follower of a cult.
Hey now.
But
Praise Glorblin.
we're gonna do some whiskey. One thing I do believe in.
That's got stuff floating in it.
Do this whiskey.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one's got.
One thing I do believe in that
What type
I'm
of
not.
whiskey is
Hey,
it?
one thing I'm not skeptical about is I think there is. I believe that paranormal activity exists. Like I don't know if it's ghosts or spirits, or if it's two planes converging, or if if material can hold a fingerprint from a tragic event. But I do believe things can, for lack of a better term, be haunted. But where do you guys stand on all of that?
What is your definition of haunted then? If it can't be like, oh, I don't believe in spirits or like imprinting of terrible things on objects, but I believe in hauntings. What does that mean?
Well, no, I'm saying I don't know what to call it specifically, but I feel like, okay, so like battlegrounds in the Northeast.
Okay, well, listen. I think explain what your definition of haunting is. Because do you mean haunting like the movies, like talking about The Conjuring?
Mostly because I mean that's
like,
where I've seen most of them. Also on those crappy TV shows where they bring the night vision, they're like something moved.
I'm talking about like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where on battlegrounds where thousands of people lost their lives, people will hear like, someone playing like some kind of battle march just randomly, and then it fades off. Now those areas, they had so much tragedy and death and trauma occur in them. I'm saying, is it impossible that there is some kind of fragment left behind from it?
Yes.
I don't think so, because when I spent that month in Europe, I went to Auschwitz.
Oh God!
And that place,
Probably a little spooky.
I mean, it's spooky, but like at the same But I
just
think
knowing what
our minds
all
are
the
crazy. Our minds can like basically do anything.
You
they
want it to be there, so then you hear it.
Yeah,
Well, just-
but what
it's
what
your
I'm
mind
saying
making
is
it up.
Like when I was there, it's not like we went back at night and I was like, oh, and I'm like no. But when I was there, it was like,
Not now.
I mean, obviously explain to us what happened. I was like freshman year of high school, so I didn't know. Like I knew World War II and everything obviously happened in the concentration camps, but I didn't know the extent of how bad it was.
It was pretty bad.
Probably until like
It
my
was pretty bad. It was
senior
pretty-
year of high school.
There's a lot of-
and then now it's really messed up because now that there's this guy who's kind of like out there right now, just more so he studied about Auschwitz and like just World War II and like Nazi Germany and everything.
And it was
all
fucked up.
Man, dude, Alexander Solzhenitsyn hit that book, The Gulag Archipelago, sending people to the middle of Siberia and freezing them to death. And I'm like, that stuff's wild. So
That's more along like the true crime avenue.
I'm
True
saying,
crime is also awesome to listen to.
yeah, but
To
I
go to
don't
sleep.
because I was there and it was like I didn't get like the vibe of like, oh, there's something still here or people still here and all that.
well, does everyone here believe in like an afterlife?
I
Whether
do.
it's a religious belief or just the belief that you go somewhere else after this life.
I think so.
I've just got some hopes and dreams. I don't know.
No, I'm running that fucking box, dog. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So you don't think there's anything after
No,
this?
nothing. There isn't.
Oh man. See, I believe there's an afterlife.
I'm just optimistic is all.
No, I think for sure there's something after this.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think if you believe that, it makes it easier to believe that maybe for some reason someone who is passed, who is crossed over, could, because we don't know what that is, they could for some reason get in contact.
What I can believe in, because we are connected to a degree in a weird way, and like especially because like I'm an avid Joe Rogan podcast listener, and he brings like really interesting like physicists, people who study quantum physics and everything else like that. And what's wild is how I probably won't be able to like regurgitate this properly or anything else like that, but we're just connected in weird ways. And I can just talk about like personal experiences and people experiences just in general when you like when you're thinking of like someone or like really extreme coincidences, or just those moments when people are like, were you like, I had a dream about this, and it's like that actually like occurred and everything else like that. I think that there are different like stuff that we just cannot sense. I think there are multiple realities. I do think that by absolutely. So I think there might be something, but I just don't believe in like just like ghosts. But I do believe in like just this otherworldly like,
I'm gonna take that
that's like
step
not
further. There was a ghost just there.
He was so pasty.
Oh my god.
So go ahead, but then I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that a step further. First off, I also love the Joe Rogan podcast. It's interesting. It's hilarious. Although I'm not always trying to learn things when I'm watching a podcast. I want to sometimes just hear him tell fart jokes with his friends. It's awesome. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, I've never had any experiences with other things, otherworldly things, except for the part where you said where if you dream of something and then it happens the next day.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me before, and that freaks me out a bit.
I mean, because you don't know. Like, it's just, I think that there is like a form, like a something that's connecting all of us. I just don't understand like what that thing would be. I'm
not trying to understand things that I'm not gonna be able to. Yeah. So I'm just like, shit, I don't know. I'm open to, I want to go, like, if I get a Ouija board and summon fucking
See, I don't fuck with
devil,
Ouija boards at all.
I don't believe in stuff like that.
Well, I don't. I want to see some. Look, it's not that I believe in that stuff. It's just that if it exists, bring it on, motherfucker.
I think there's.
Why not?
Anyway, sorry.
I think there's no reason to think that we are the only plane of existence. Just because all we know is right here doesn't mean that this is the only.
I agree.
Like, whether ghosts or spirits or whatever they are, like, I don't think of like ghosts in the sense of like a horror movie existing. Like, I don't think like Casper's floating around like popping out of boxes spooking people. Like, but no, like I have kind of dove in and started like kind of dabbling with some of this stuff. There's a paranormal research society here in St. Louis, and they do like walking tours, like history tours of Lemp Mansion, the brewery, other areas in St. Louis that are known to have had, are known to like be haunted. And they don't try to like play it up or do an investigation. They walk you through these areas and they tell you the history of them. And, the people who take you on these tours, they avidly believe that there is some kind of paranormal occurrences going on in these buildings. They monitor them. They set up cameras. They set up lights, not with the public, but on their own time. They host seances and they try to communicate and like commune with the spirits of like the Lemp family and all the people who have died. And they've had crazy shit happen to them. And I went on one of their tours. I didn't want to do a ghost investigation with them because I felt like that was too big of a commitment to like ghostly shit. But I did the history tour, and they took us into the brewery, and they told us, they took us through all 4 floors of it, and we're on the very top floor, and I hadn't seen anything like ghostly yet. So far, it was just a pretty like, pretty tame, like creepy story tour, essentially. And we were in this old apartment on top of the brewery where some artist had passed away, and he was like a total loner, so no one found him for a long time. So his body kind of like sat up there for a while until someone performed a wellness check, and they found him like very obviously dead for not like months or anything, but like a fair amount of time.
Okay.
So he was nice and ripe.
Yeah, and
Juicy.
and I was in what would have been his bathroom taking pictures and opening it had like a stall door on it, and I was like knocking on it, and at this point I was just like, I was wanting to see something, so I was doing everything you shouldn't do to like stir up some activity.
Hey,
and
ghosts! Where
no,
you at,
straight up,
motherfuckers?
the tour was continuing without me. They were walking along, and I stayed back in this bathroom taking pictures. And Gary, he was with me for a while, and I thought he was still standing behind me.
Oh,
but he walked. He followed the tour, and I didn't see him because I had my back turned. I took a picture, and I felt on my lower back like Gary like going like, come on, like kind of pulling me like, let's go, like let's catch up with the tour. And I turn around to like smack his hand away and like, hey, no, I know. And I turn around and Gary wasn't there, and it was such a real feeling. Like I felt a hand with fingers on my back like kind of pull me and like tug me, and it was such a real feeling, and it was so surreal that it even happened. Like I almost threw up. I didn't know how to respond to it. I just was like
That's pretty good.
totally like visceral reaction. And then I was almost like frozen in disbelief for a second. I saw the tour exiting the room we were in, and I sprinted after them. And I told our tour leader what had happened, and he told me that that artist who had died up there was kind of like a womanizer, and he was known to like have a lot of girls over and stuff, and that younger girls on these tours have occasionally reported like their lower backs or their butts being grabbed. Jesus. And they had a video of a picture of one girl who was on this tour, and her ponytail got lifted up when they were up there. So I thought that was funky.
I've never had any like thing like physical happen to me or anything else like that, but it's funny because my friends at SEMO, they lived in this house, and when I used to stay over there all the time, the one with all the cats that I was talking to you about beforehand, they were reporting about the fact that Matt said he saw someone when he woke up, like just standing in the window. But I once again, I don't like ever like discredit people because it's like you got clothes and shit all the time. I've mistaken my clothes and shit, like my hamper and all that, like for dark figures in my room at night. But no, what happened was that Jessica, though, she like said someone's voice. She said someone called her name. And I don't know if this was my brain playing tricks on me or anything else like that, but I was awake when it happened. I remember I was sleeping downstairs on the couch, and I woke up and I heard someone just say like Corey, and I like whispered it. But once again, it's like I don't believe in it, but like I remember when that happened to me, I was like, maybe.
Yeah. No, I talk in my sleep a lot, and people who have heard me talk in my sleep, they've said it's kind of like conversational, and that kind of spooked me. Like, well, who am I conversing with?
Yourself. I talk in my sleep all the time. My friends had to point that out to me. I never thought I did.
No, I don't talk in my sleep. My dad used to sleepwalk.
Oh, I used to do that a little bit.
No, my dad used to be very bad with it. Like he would wake up, piss in the drawers.
Ooh.
Like we'd walk around trying to do stuff in the night that he wasn't actually doing. Like there was one time he was a long time. Yeah, he was like standing on the bed, and my mother was right there, and he's like fixing the blinds on the window or something, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Kill it, Glenn, kill it." He was dreaming there was a snake. And then he was telling his brother Glenn to kill the snake.
Yeah, you said he pissed in the drawer?
Oh yeah, he did that.
I'm surprised.
Either a drawer or a closet. Either way,
that's so funny.
A place you're not supposed to piss at in the house.
Well, it depends what your rules are.
Our rules were don't piss in the fucking closet or the
Because haven't you guys heard of the people who like who sleepwalk and like who are like their brain is fully there, like they know exactly what's happening? Well, not they don't know exactly what's happening. Sorry, it's whenever they are when they like wake up and actually go through their daily routine, And it's like one dude, I forgot where I was listening to this at, but one dude woke up in the middle of the night. He took some pills or something like that. He woke up in the middle of the night, drove, got a turkey, came back, cooked the turkey, stuffed that thing, and he ate it, and then went back to sleep.
Jesus, how long was he sleeping
Oh
for?
my
That must have
God.
taken him all night.
He woke up,
Was the-
called the police, and said,
Somebody ate a
someone
turkey
came
in my
I broke into a house
And cooked a full-blown turkey dinner.
and made food, and he was just like, and then they were like, "Sir, no, you were just sleepwalking. This is like the 4th time you called."
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh man. And
Well, to get back on track with like paranormal stuff though.
Yeah.
No, sleepwalking's weird, but it's definitely not paranormal. But what do you guys think? What do you guys outside of ghosts? So would you say you're skeptic, believer, absolute non-believer, or like open to it?
I mean, if I see one, I'll be like, there it is. I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be like, my world wouldn't be shattered. So like, I'm on like, I don't really believe, but like, if one comes here, I'm like, I've heard of them.
Now,
Aliens, though.
but like, what about you? Are you skeptic, a non-believer?
I would say I'm like almost completely a non-believer, but I am like open to the idea because like you said, I don't think this is the only plane of existence by no means.
Because my other theory is that ghosts aren't like spirits, but it's just like, what if time like just
So it's-
constantly exists all at once, the past, the present, the future, on different planes, and you can kind of
That's how time works.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so the past is currently occurring. So if I'm in a building that's like 300 years old, what was going on 300 years ago could in that realm still be going on there. So is
Not
there
how time works. That's not how that works.
but like, that's what I'm saying is, what if it's different planes of existence? Like 150 years ago in the Lemp Mansion, and I'm today in 2020 walking through the Lemp Mansion, and for some
No.
reason we
No.
cross paths.
No, you can't do that.
Because
It's
120 years ago is still this plane of existence.
yeah, exactly. And so it because it comes down, and this is almost starting to get towards like space stuff, and
Well-
and infinity is almost like kind of where you're starting to
Well,
head into.
parallel universes are pretty likely.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah.
kind of what I'm saying.
They're
And if
pretty
there are
likely
parallel
thing.
universes,
Well, getting-
can they converge?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
What if that is what paranormal activity
They
is?
can't converge. I don't think
Not
so.
converge, but like,
Leak
what
into
if
one
like
another.
the walls get kind of thin? Like, what if one's a cheap apartment, you can hear everything your neighbor's doing? Like,
No, I don't, because I think that would make like the fabric of existence
Yeah,
start to tear.
Yeah, if that happened. Yeah, like
Yeah, we fucked up.
it wouldn't be good, dog.
No, but that's actually what I was getting. Well, we're starting to head down that path, which is insane, because I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson is who I think I was listening to when
The boy himself.
Oh, he's great.
the man himself.
Mike Tyson's older brother.
He said like it, because basically the universe is infinite.
Yeah.
And what the crazy thing about infinity is, it's more unimaginable than you can actually believe or think. He said it's so big that it accounts for everything that happened. Me doing this,
And you
that-
not doing that.
blah of this.
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
it's all accounted for.
Yeah.
Because it's so big that there is an iteration of you that's like, I won't be able to say exactly what it said, but it's like it's so huge and it's so ridiculously infinite that it's just like there is an iteration of you accounted for within that infinity. It's
I will say this: that is the exact plot of the show Rick and Morty, which none of you
No.
are into except for me. It's so funny, and that's the exact. It's like infinites, and you can travel through the infinite universes, and crazy shit happens.
I'm sorry we're not smart enough to comprehend the genius of
It's
your
not
favorite
about
show.
smartness. It's a funny fucking show.
You're the smartest person in the room. We know. We
I'm
get
not
it.
that kind of Rick and Morty fan,
only-
dickhead. I don't give a shit about Szechuan sauce.
We get it. You love Szechuan sauce. Like, calm down.
Hey, Dylan,
God damn.
Dylan, shut your mouth.
Calm down.
They-
How about we all
You're
do
really
this shot?
smart.
I was actually
Let me
supposed to say that.
listen. Let me tell
You're
you,
really smart.
it's not that smart. There's a universe he travels to where instead of mountains, there's butts, and they constantly fart. It's a butt planet.
Man.
Sounds like Planet Corey.
Ow. Oh, well, yeah.
I'm sorry
kind
our
of.
brains aren't big enough to be able to comprehend the.
Big
Oh,
plays.
man.
All
It's a
right, we'll
funny
take this.
Let's do
Fuck
this
you guys.
shot,
You
and then
guys
let's
are
talk
lame.
about aliens.
I know. I will say that show is funny because one of my favorite absolute episodes is, I don't know, I got you.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode is the only one I've really seen. It's so funny. He said, and you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Was it the one with the dog?
It's the one with the dog. Oh man, when the dog gets it's able to talk, and what happened to it
The
again?
dog looks a lot like Luigi, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I haven't seen it.
It's a little white fluffy dog, and his name is Snowball.
Bruh,
Luigi.
they get him. Did they make him smart, or was he just able to
No,
talk?
they made
now?
him smart.
Yeah, he was able to talk, and they made a robot, right, that he was able to use to speak.
Oh, this
That's
brings me
not,
to
no. Here's
another-
what happened. Dog kept pissing on the carpet. And
Yes.
Their stupid dad is like, "Hey, Rick, you're living here. Make him smarter." And he goes, "All right." He puts this thing on his head. He goes, "Go to the bathroom." And he goes to the bathroom, flushes the toilet.
I have to say this.
And then he finds out if you put more batteries in the helmet,
Yeah.
that you make
That's
him
what it
even
is.
smarter, which is stupid.
But this is so funny. It was hilarious. He gets so smart that he becomes fully self-aware,
And he takes over the world with an army of dogs.
And
That's
bruh,
awesome.
he goes
into the
he goes into Summer's room, the girl in the show, and he is there, and it's like thunderstorms and lightning and stuff, and he it goes whoosh, and then his face appears, right? And Summer's like, "Oh God!" She's just like, and
Where
what's
am
the
I
dog's name again?
Snowball.
Yeah,
Well,
he
no,
goes-
it was Snuffles. He goes, and he
Yeah.
goes, Snuffles was my slave name.
Yeah.
I am now called Snowball. Where are my testicles? Where are my testicles, Summer?
She goes ah! But then when Jerry, the dad, he sees the dog, or they both see each other. I don't know if he came in the room or something like that, but he goes, Jerry, come to rub my face and piss again, have you?
Oh God.
And I think they make him sniff his own pee.
Yo,
All right. Let's talk
enough about the show,
All
but
right.
Yeah.
I saw 2 episodes in Chicago,
Yeah.
they're funny.
and they were from the new season. And one of them, he gets brought back in a different dimension.
Yes,
And they're all Nazis, and he's like, "Fuck!" And he dies.
Jesus.
So he gets brought back in another one, but this time he's like a lobster person.
It's a shrimp.
And he's a shrimp, and he's like, "Man, at least you guys aren't fascists." And the other guy goes, and they're all shrimp Nazis.
Yeah, he keeps,
All right.
Oh my God, it's so
Okay.
funny.
If you want to learn more about Rick and Morty, you can watch the show.
Good show.
This was more interesting than the other
You
conversation.
don't have to be smart to watch it.
I would say that.
Anyway,
I would.
Ghosts are interesting, Dylan. Shut your mouth.
That's just because
Are they though?
what are aliens?
Aliens are real things that exist. I
What
don't know
is
if
an
they've-
alien in your mind? Do you believe in it? Do you
have-
not believe in it?
Thing
And what
is,
does it
it's
look like in
not
your
about
brain?
belief. It's scientific probability that there's something out there. We don't know what it will be, what it will look like, if it's even the same kind of matter that we're made of.
Exactly.
But statistically speaking, there's
gotta be
something
something.
out there in the infinite.
I tend to think it's not crazy to believe. So on Earth, every group of people has some kind of creation story, and they all kind of run the same line. So I think someone witnessed something, and so what most people refer to that to is God or religion or the universe. What if God is alien?
Maybe that was the movie.
I mean,
that was the concept for the movie Prometheus.
We believe that God is a creature who lives in heaven, and we don't know exactly what it is. Why is it so crazy to think that it
or
might
just
be alien?
outside of space
Yeah.
and time. I don't believe that.
Well, the thing
I
about
don't
all,
believe. Oh, go ahead.
the thing about all religions having this, their creation stories being
We all come from the sky in almost every creation story.
not
Well, a
all
lot
of
of
them.
them, or
Some
the
of them
water.
some of them are very wild. Some of them,
But
are-
the main ones that you learn about, they
those are just the most popular ones.
A
but
lot
the
of them
oldest
all
ones
talk
and-
about beings from the sky, like
Well-
Native American creation stories. I mean, Christian creation
The
stories.
reason for that is because the sky is what, the sun, agriculture, everything, that's what gave everybody life. And they needed a way to explain that, and they didn't know that the sun was a ball of gas a million miles away. They thought,
Yeah.
what the hell is the thing?
Yeah, older religions
god? I don't know.
they just used it as a way to explain natural phenomenon,
yeah.
I mean, yes, it was
and
that.
then it became a tool to
It was that, but it was also
people
not
did.
just that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's a doctrine of how to act.
And a lot of creation stories talk about
but the-
beings from the sky, like actual people coming from the heavens, the stars.
A lot of them, yeah, because that was the thing that they all had in common as far as environmentally going is that there's a sky above every single person on the earth.
They can't talk about the jungle god if you're in fucking an Arctic wasteland. So
I mean that, but at the same time, I think it was a lot. It's a lot because I'm sorry. This is actually one thing that I listened to about a lot, and like psychologically as to like what religions were, and like a lot of the fact that we are like in America, or Western civilization, should I say, is founded on Judeo-Christian beliefs, and a lot of that comes down to the fact of, and just a lot of older religions, was just the fact that we didn't have a way of articulating the way we do now of certain phenomenon and events and everything, which is what we already said, but it was more than just that. Like Nick was saying, it's like a way to act, and we didn't necessarily know fundamentally within ourselves how to explain, like, oh, treat others like the way you want to, or just the golden rule and everything else.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
and also if you look at like the 10 Commandments, don't steal stuff because people will murder you for stealing. Don't sleep around because back in the day they didn't have penicillin and that killed people.
Which is something.
And if you make a kid, you gotta take care of that thing or else it's just gonna die. And that happened a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at though is like,
And as far as the explanation thing goes,
like,
yeah.
Like I grew up Catholic, and I mean, I guess I'm still Catholic. I still go to church occasionally. I'm not a non-believer in any way. I don't like practice like a lot of people do who like really, really live it. But like our belief is that God is our creator and He is in the heavens. And all I'm saying is like that kind of sounds like a being in the stars, which is some people's definition of an alien. And people think it's so, because there are people who avidly believe that like we were created by aliens, like a more intelligent life.
There's people who believe a lot of things.
Yeah, and I'm just
weird.
saying it doesn't sound far off from we believe we were created by God from the heavens.
there are
It
people that believe in
sounds
ghosts. So I mean,
I'll tell you what. You want to hear a one that's it's like a sci-fi one that like people think that maybe an asteroid landed on Earth millions and millions of years ago that
Carrying
had like
life
some
from another.
microbes or something, and that microbes just grew and evolved into everything we got now.
I totally believe that everything was created by some being that's outside of our universe. I do believe that because I don't think they've proven anything being able to create something from nothing yet. I haven't seen that
Not yet.
research or anything else like that.
But they're looking.
But I absolutely 100% believe that the universe was created by something, I have no idea, like some being. But once again, in regards to, that's just me in regards to just like in general. But I am a believer as well. I believe in a God, and I believe God just in general. But it's more so, I think, what was the question that we started at the kind of at the beginning of this was, I don't believe that he's an alien by any means. I don't think we're created by aliens, but I do believe in extraterrestrial life. I have no idea what it's going to look like.
Do you think it's out of the realm of possibility that extraterrestrial life could be intelligent?
Yeah.
That's
sorry.
out of the
Out
realm?
of the realm. Sorry. No, by no means.
So you think there could be other civilized colonies of
Absolutely.
just non...
Why would I think it's us, just
Here.
us?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Impossible.
If there is another intelligent life form out there, society, whatever, they're either A, far behind us technologically speaking, or they're like way ahead of us and they look at us like we look at a bunch of fucking...
I can't even say that because who knows, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they're not going to be on the exact same
they could.
level as us. They could be, but
No, they can't.
more than likely, they're going to be either far ahead of us or far behind us.
What if it's
they're
an
just-
exact mirror somewhere?
They could be just.
We just
where
talked
are.
about that.
They could just be where we are, but they're just too far away to get to us, and they're too far away for us to get to them.
Yeah.
Well, then we wouldn't know about it. I'm talking
Light
about if we
years.
find one. If we like see one through a telescope or a radio wave bounces back saying, "Hey, it's a fucking alien over there." If we find something like that, it's either going to be like way ahead of us or way behind us. And if it's way ahead of us,
or just
we're going to
different.
die.
Something.
It could still be equal.
Yeah, I
don't think it will be
I
exactly.
think every possibility is a
Yeah.
possibility.
Of course, it's a possibility. I think it's just
Infinity.
more likely that we're going to find something that's different than
Well,
us.
you can't say
I mean,
more likely.
we got that capsule that's filled with Chuck Berry music and nudes. out there, so like,
Yes, the Voyager spacecraft.
you
Oh,
go.
yes.
So do you guys, what do you think of stories of encounters with intelligent life that exists
Oh, hell
here on
no.
Earth.
Bullshit.
Those people are fucking crazy. Yeah,
Fucking bullshit.
Yo,
Did you hear that? I think it was over the summer. Somewhere, I think it was in Illinois. I'll Google it. But they scrambled from a military base fighter jets because there was some kind of unknown flying object that they couldn't identify.
I think that was in Mexico. Pretty sure.
There was something here in the
Wherever.
U.S. too.
There's
A
those-
U.S.-based scramble. Hold on, a U.S.-based scrambled fighter jets to chase after something, and they didn't have the speed to chase it, and people were screaming aliens, aliens, aliens. But then what I thought was scarier was someone like the government was saying aliens, or like another country just has way better warcraft than we do.
Or it's us.
Or it's us.
Or it's us.
It's more than likely us.
Yeah.
'Cause Area 51.
That's
always
exactly
saw
what
something.
happened back in the day. Was that they were testing new aircraft in New Mexico.
Yeah.
New fast as fuck, weird looking aircraft,
And
and
someone
then
was
normal
like-
fighter pilots would be like, "What is that?" and they would freak out, and
Yeah.
then
And
that's where a
moving-
lot of that comes from.
And moving so fast that they're like, what is that? And it's like,
And that's
no, it's
just
new
all-
They were
technology.
schmoovin', dude.
Bro, yeah, if it's schmoovin'.
Landed 3 times. Fucking.
But if there's,
dog.
but if and
Forward tilt.
there's UFO sightings is one thing, but people talking about like getting abducted.
Absolutely.
I'm not
don't
talking about
believe that.
abductions. I'm
I don't
saying
believe
like
that,
UFO
but those
sightings.
are hilarious to me.
But not even, nah, I can't get with that program.
I just
You,
think that
you don't think people have seen, if there is intelligent life, you don't think we've seen it.
Fuck no.
No, we haven't seen it.
I would love to see it if it's out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're an alien and you trying to get picked up by
If
people.
you're an alien and you want to abduct me, I'm right here, beach.
Okay.
Come get me.
Have you guys seen the movie Independence Day?
Of course.
You know the scene where
Welcome to Earth.
listen, you know the scene
Yeah.
where
Earth.
the alien ship is hovering over the really tall building, and there's like people partying and like, take us with you,
Yeah.
and then they just get annihilated.
Oh, that would be
Kayla.
me. I'd be the first one dead. I'd be like,
Kayla.
take me to your leader.
Then they just go, yeet.
Fucking
I just want to know.
Well, you'd know.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't know anything.
Be like, wow, those guys are smart as hell. They made something that burned me alive in an instant.
I like to watch this show called Ancient Aliens, and they.
Oh god.
What's wrong
It's
with you?
goofy. It's goofy.
It's the dumbest show.
But it's like it's something where they'll put a marathon on, and like if you're recovering from a hangover and you're just like in the couch and they've got like 6 hours of Ancient Aliens,
Can't relate.
It's real easy to just like drool to for a few hours. But one thing that kind of stuck with me out of that show was a lot of paintings from the Renaissance, or I guess it would be the Renaissance, or the time period shortly after the Black Plague. Depict UFOs in the sky, and they have this theory that we were kind of being checked up on after the plague, like wiped a bunch of people out, and that the Renaissance was some kind of like alien rebirth, and aliens helped us to like regenerate. And I don't believe it, but I thought it was
That's a
beyond
wild
interesting.
stuff.
And then they showed real ass paintings from famous artists that depicted UFOs as you would see them in cartoons today.
That might be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
The saucers and like light beams and shit coming from it. And I was like, how do these motherfuckers know what a UFO looks like? Like that shit is from
I mean, but
How do
people,
we
Dexter's
know?
Laboratory.
well, people can read into what they want to read into because all they have to do is find some specks and stuff on the painting and be like, oh,
no,
this
like
is a
it was
depiction.
depicted, like it was a picture.
I have to see it. That's all.
I don't
It's
know
out
about
there.
that.
That's stupid, dog.
Dylan
That's wild.
doesn't believe in anything. No ghosts, no funny, no titties, no kung
Damn.
fu, no nothing.
Hold up, I believe.
He said, wait a
Kung
minute.
fu.
Now you're going into his
And I
territory.
believe titties. What
Wait
are
a
you talking
minute.
about?
Oh man. Oh man.
He said, yo,
That was good.
we might need some kung fu on this podcast, actually.
But I guess I'm talking shit like that. Fuck.
We can talk some kung fu later.
Well, Corey, what did you? Did you have something else about aliens? Otherwise, I was going to ask you about black holes. What did you want to say about black holes?
Oh, yo, black holes are wild, man. I think what they were saying is it might be either black holes or wormholes, but man, when they talk about black holes and they're like you just going over the event horizon and what would happen to you once you get sucked in, it's just like you go over the event horizon and then you just get like stretched stretched extremely like far. Is that right?
Yeah, that
Like,
sounds right. I
you
saw
get
that
pulled
episode.
and you go into what I forgot what they call it. You just become spaghetti. That's what happens.
But yeah,
This is the
spaghettification.
flying spaghetti monster.
Bro, maybe.
Squad.
You never know.
And but they were just like that. But black holes, they believe. I think they did the math. It's either a wormhole or a black hole where they were just like, we actually have the math to time travel. We know how to do it.
Why
And what-
haven't we done it yet? I want to go.
because what you would have to do is that you'd have to be able to fold time, and you'd have to be able to fold it like
Yeah,
the hot dog.
They
like
explained this in
when
like
you
2
fold a
different
paper,
movies.
Piece of paper,
Okay.
like in hot dog form.
I was like, I've never folded a hot dog.
So
I
the
don't know.
wormhole then, what happens is you fold it on top of each other, and then the wormhole is the portal to that
Yeah.
other dimension.
They explained this in the movie Interstellar, and then they also did
I
it
still
in
haven't
the
seen
movie-
that.
Oh, it's good.
It's really
great. And then they also explained it in the movie Event Horizon, where they're like, "Here's how we're time." Well, they don't. It's not time travel necessarily. It's like hyper travel.
Brian Cox, I think, is the physicist who
Yeah.
I was listening to about who said that.
Yeah, he was talking about that, and yeah, that's they talk that. I mean, just because you know how to do something doesn't mean it's going to happen.
But the main reason to answer your question as to why is because we don't know how to fold the matter that is time.
I thought you were going to say it's because we don't know how it would affect the human. I was like, find some crazy ass volunteer who doesn't give a shit.
No.
There are people who signed up to go live on Mars.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
you could find someone to jump into a wormhole.
Oh, facts.
This,
Total Recall,
this
bro.
dude said, all right, I don't know where I read this, but someone said that we know time travel is not real because if it was, then it'd always be possible.
Yeah, someone would have done it.
There's a funny story about Stephen Hawking when he was still alive. He threw a party and he didn't send out invitations until the next day, and it said "Time Travelers Welcome." Nobody fucking showed up.
That's crazy. But it's wild.
I
to
wonder
me.
if he actually thought like, "Fuck, I thought somebody was gonna show up."
Bert Kreischer's got a joke about time travel, about how he was really stoned one night, and at 2:00 in the morning, his youngest daughter walks into his bedroom and just goes, "Hey, Daddy, do you believe in time travel?" And he's like, in real life, I really do believe in time travel. And I was stoned out of my mind, and I was so excited to have this conversation. I was like, "Yes, baby, why? What happened?" She goes, "No reason," and just walked out of his room. And he said he just sat there in his room high as fucking, oh my God, it's a 30-year-old version of my daughter in her room right now talking to the 6-year-old version of my daughter. Be
my
like,
God.
"Look, your dad's going to die tonight, but we got to save him."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's just wild to me when he told me we actually have the math for it. I was like, oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, we also have the math that's like a trillion times another trillion times another trillion, and yet we can never have that many of like anything.
Yeah. Oh well.
Man,
But anyway,
science is weird, right?
Science is pretty
dope.
Great.
Science.
Maybe wilding.
I like the science of music. Bringing it back.
Shut up,
around to
Nick.
it. It's actually a science. Wavelengths and such, sound vibrations and
Alright.
stuff. I
Man,
went to
you're
school
killing
for
my
that.
vibe.
You know, I'll tell you about something that I did experience. It's not really paranormal, but it was just cool. There are, I went to Sedona, Arizona, and there are these things called vortexes. Naturally, the Earth just has like magnetic energy but in these vortexes, which you can find at various places in the Earth, the magnetic energy just flows in a different direction, and you can kind of physically feel a difference.
Really?
Yeah, and it's trippy. A lot of people do it like spiritually. They'll like travel there and like do mushrooms and like soak up the vibes.
I will do that one day. I think I will.
But I
Ever
went.
done D&T, bro?
I went to this river. This is one of the coolest things I ever did. I went to this river with my aunt's uncle, who is a psychic medium who works in Sedona, Arizona, and he
That's
knows
wild.
where the vortexes are. And so I told him I just really wanted to go feel one, see if I could feel it. And he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "It's a natural phenomenon. Like you'll feel it if we find one." So we went to one, and he was like, we ended up standing barefoot in a riverbed. Me, a psychic medium, in a forest in Sedona, Arizona, barefoot in a river with our eyes closed, like leaning into this like wall of energy that we could feel and like rocking back and forth. And then I realized at that moment in time, like, whoa, this is some trippy ass shit that I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Why weren't you on mushrooms?
But it
Come
was
on.
cool. And like, because you can feel the energy moving differently, it kind of like the energy that's within your body naturally kind of shifts around, and you feel very chilled out. At least that's how I experienced
we
it. I
have,
felt
like-
very like zen after.
Aren't we actually like? Do we have any type of magnetism towards on like
Static.
on our body?
Yeah. Well, there's electricity in your body.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a very weak magnetic pole, I guess you could call it, but it's just energy, electrons and shit. Because the energy in your body that you use to move and like look at things and think is electrical energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
A lot of it is.
After that riverbed experience, I went back to his house with him and his wife, and they gave me a sound bath and a Reiki energy treatment, and then they gave me
What the fuck
that?
do any of those words mean?
They gave
what I
me
wanted to know.
a psychic reading. They did my numerology chart and then a tarot card reading. And
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh
I
my
couldn't
God.
like sleep for like days after that. I was just like, "What?"
Did you ask me? Am I gonna do DMT?
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I might.
That's a Joe Rogan reference.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I thought you said.
do
I was
DMT,
like,
bro?
I
Isn't
might.
DMT like serious stuff? Like it's not like mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a one-time thing. When the dude who went
I'd
on it
do
described
mushrooms, I
his
wouldn't
trip,
do DMT.
didn't
Well-
Joe Rogan try it?
Yeah, he tries to get everybody in the show to try it. It's great. No, I've never tried it, but it sounds great. No, apparently, so DMT is what is it? Dimethyltryptamine.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
right.
the active ingredient in the plant ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
the
peyote?
concoction. No, peyote is
No.
a cactus.
Oh, okay.
But ayahuasca comes from two different vines in the Amazon rainforest that when you combine them, make you trip fucking balls.
Oh.
And supposedly, well, also your brain naturally creates the stuff, and they notice like it happens. Like your brain creates it a lot when like I don't know extreme things happen to you, like if you when you're about to die and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you get a nice big super dose of it, they're like, "Ugh," you see a lot of crazy shit, and a lot of people say they've seen like aliens or God, and they just
Or people just
Or
come
they're
back
one and the
different.
same.
yeah, people just like
And
change.
Mike Tyson also, he did it, and that's what he said. He took the DMT, and he said when he came off his trip, he just like felt better as a person.
Well, he
was
also
just-
had a
Yeah.
lot of head injuries. Over
I mean
the years.
that, but at the same time, he said it just helped him out a lot.
Sure it did.
Besides the massive amount of weed he is
smoked. Yeah,
smoking.
what was it like $40,000 worth in a weekend?
Dude, he has his own farm now.
that is
What?
he's a
he
savage.
has I think it's he made a resort for, I think this is what it is. I think he made a resort for come to smoke weed at, and you can smoke weed with Mike Tyson at his place. I think it's in California somewhere. It's wild.
Guys want to go smoke weed with Mike Tyson?
I do.
I don't know if we can afford that right now, but yeah,
We can't,
that'd be
but-
really cool.
But
Oh, you know what I want to ask the people though? I want to know if you would like to see. I think Dylan, you're not in on this, but would you come watch the whole Illinois thing we talked about?
Probably not.
You would really? Okay.
he's like, nah.
Well, would you like to see us do a vlog? Because recreational marijuana is now legal in Illinois.
Correct.
I would like, I don't know, I feel like we could get into some fun vlogging shenanigans if we like did some edibles in Illinois and just had ourselves an afternoon.
I think we have to go to Springfield. I'm not going to any bum like.
You're not going to Sauget?
What is that?
Sauget,
where Pops is.
Illinois.
That's where Pop's at.
Oh no.
What about Brooklyn, Illinois?
What? I've never been.
Oh, Brooklyn, Illinois is a part of the east side that's got some wild strip clubs where I don't think it's legal. Like,
Oh my god. No, we're not going there either.
Well, I don't know any. I've only passed through Illinois. I don't know anything about the state, so pick a safe place
Springfield.
where we can spend just a few hours hanging out.
Yeah.
nice.
Maybe find a playground. We can swing on some swing
I am
sets.
gonna need food.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll need a lot of
Lots
food.
of food.
If we're gonna do that, then yeah, we'll do that. Dylan can.
I just never understood.
Call us later.
I never looked up nor understood why weed does that to you. Wonder why it gives
Oh.
you the munchies.
I don't know either, but it does.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Bad.
It's yeah.
You know, weed wasn't even illegal until the 1930s.
Yeah.
It was legal, and then they.
It's because they're making paper out of hemp, and the paper industry was making it out of trees.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That guy started a campaign, and it got everybody to hate it. And they
Yep.
also the name marijuana is the Mexican Spanish word for it, and they used that for because cannabis was like a well-known thing, cannabis or hemp. You know, like we make things out
Man,
of that.
dude.
But then they're like marijuana, those evil Mexicans, they smoke this stuff and then they go crazy. Have you seen the movie Reefer Madness?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
It's great.
Oh, it's wild.
It's a wild.
It's like 1930s, it's like 2 or 3 couples, they smoke weed together, and then one ends up like shooting.
They go crazy and goes on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, it's like, yo, everyone I've ever seen get too stoned has just like
fallen asleep,
become a part of their couch.
Wow.
Not go on a murderous rampage.
You just sit there, or you fall asleep. Yeah. I've only seen one guy like actually kind of lose it, and I don't know. I didn't know the guy. I was at a party one time, and he had taken a hit of whatever they were taking hits of, and he just at one point in the night he just starts walking back and forth between the front door and the back door, the front door and the back door of this little house, and looking out the thing, going like, I'm like, somebody get your fucking boy! What are you doing?
Hey, bruh. and we can end on this if you want to, because I know you keep looking at the time. I don't know how far along we are.
We got like 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, this might take up that time. I can tell them real quick the bad trip that I had. Did I tell you guys?
I know about the time you puked everywhere.
Yeah, you know about
sweater.
that. Oh my God! I don't think I've told you guys this story.
I don't know.
That's fine. So, do you all know what wax is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I never have. I can't get that high. I'd lose my mind.
At this time, at the moment when this story happened, I had no idea what the hell wax was.
Oh God, this
and
is gonna be bad.
So, dude, it was horrible.
Oh, dude,
listen to me. So listen,
feel free, man.
Dude, it was bad. So, okay, I'm at my friend's house at SEMO, and bruh, I was out at the bars with him at first, and I had just been drinking. And I've been drinking.
No.
I had drank a decent amount. Like I was basically in my zone.
You were dead.
Dude,
how are you not dead?
That's what I'm wondering myself. Listen, okay, so we get back, and then so things are happening. We're having a good time. We get back to the house. I'm playing Smash. I'm feeling great. It's awesome. Yeah. One of my friends, I guess, boyfriend, I think at the time, came and he sold stuff. And but he had wax on him, and he goes and he looks at me and he goes like, I don't know why he chose me, but he was like, "Hey man,
get high?"
Yeah, he was just like, "Hey, you want to come do wax?" I was like, "What is wax, bro?" He was like, "Bro, it's just basically 95% THC, and it's just this is all it is." And I was just like, "Oh God, okay." And this is not a sound decision when. So I got out to his car, and I didn't. But I only found out the 95% afterwards.
Oh, that's even worse.
So
he tricked you.
So when I got to his car and he busted it out, and I'm like hitting it, I did like 3 massive hits.
You
dude
should be dead.
Now listen to me.
That's so much.
I go back into the house, and I'm upstairs, and I'm just chilling with everyone, and I feel the temperature in
just
the room
life goes
boom, and it just went through the roof. I'm like, I'm hot.
I'm not okay.
I'm real hot right now.
I am not
and I go to the
fucking
bathroom because I'm like, I have to shit, I think.
I think.
I'm just sitting there, and I'm like on my phone, just like blowing up this bathroom, thinking everything's okay.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I shit, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good now. I feel my temperature
feel
come down
better,
a little bit. And I go back in that room, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just chilling with everybody. I'm just talking, and I go, all right, I can't breathe now. So I'm back to being hot again. And so I'm like, I gotta go outside. And I go out there, and I'm like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, I don't know yet, but I think I think it's over. And so I'm like, I go outside, and it's like, it's cold as hell outside, but I am like just sweating and like burning up a storm. And when I get outside, I like even out, but I'm still like hot. Yeah. But now I'm starting to trip balls.
Hell yes, you were.
But
Jesus Christ.
I think because the combination of the alcohol and like the wax, I think my body was just to the point where it's like, I have to pass out, but I cannot because I'm too scared to pass out. And everyone's starting to leave now at this time. I've been outside for like 30 minutes now.
Oh, God.
And I'm like losing track of time. And my friend Matt Ing, he comes downstairs and he's just like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, I am not okay.
You were not.
And then like, and then he goes like, and I'm like, you actually cannot leave me here. He's one of my best friends. I'm like, you cannot leave me here. You have to sit here. He's only in his underwear at this point.
Wait.
And he's getting ready to go to sleep.
Was this the same friend that like fed you granola?
No, this
Oh,
is
the
not,
different guy.
This is not
Okay.
Andrew.
You have good friends.
Oh yeah, you're darn right. That's why the circle's small, man.
There you go.
But he basically sits on the porch, on the back porch with me, and this is what I am doing the entire time. I am so freaked out because I think I'm dying, obviously, and so. But this is what I kept on doing. I kept going. I'm basically passing out like every 5 seconds. So I'm going like this. Oh shit. And I'm like, the reason I can't let myself pass out is because I did not want to wake up somewhere where I did not know where I was.
Yeah.
Because I knew, because I would have passed out, but I had no idea what my body was like in that state.
That's
at
a
the moment.
lot of thought for you being that.
I was so
when
scared.
you get that high, all you do is think in circles.
I was so scared, and I'm like, I cannot pass out because I am going to leave this house if I pass out.
I'm going to leave this.
And so after about, I think, an hour and a half of that, and I've thrown up like 3 times, so I think my body is finally coming down off of whatever this is.
So you crossfaded.
Oh,
Just on a
hard.
massive
Bad.
level.
Bad, and it was my first time crossfading too.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
yo,
not fun.
And so he finally goes, I'm like, okay, I'm okay now. I can like go inside. Like I'm like finally like I feel like my temperature like regulated enough to where I was like, okay, I can deal with like how hot I am right now.
What's funny is your body temperature probably didn't even move.
Not at all. I'm sure. I'm positive. And so like, I go, I'm like, good night, bro. Thanks. And he's like, yeah, man. Upstairs.
Anytime.
And he goes, and I lay on the couch. I'm up for the next 3 hours, like, because I can't go to sleep because I'm still hot. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm like moving around because I'm like, I can't sit. And I'm like, yo, I'm thinking I'm dying the entire time. And I'm like, Jesus, if you let me get through this, I will not do this shit again.
Oh my God.
And then I was just like, and then finally, and this is exactly how I fell asleep. I wish I could demonstrate. How sturdy is this table?
No, don't.
Okay, I can't. This is basically how I fell asleep on the couch. This is how I fell asleep on the couch.
What are you doing?
This is how I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, I've done that where you're kind of just like bridged your back and head on and your legs dropped.
was just hanging off, and
Yeah.
I woke up like this, and I woke up and I was like, oh God.
Oh, yeah,
where am I?
yeah.
And then,
So basically, just sunk down real low.
yeah.
He made a bridge.
And the only reason I think I like woke up like not on
At
my
all?
own accord was just due to the cats, because like I said, the cats were dicks and they thought it was funny. Oliver thought it was funny constantly. No, it was Ramses actually. Ramses always thought it was funny to come into the where I was sleeping and just lay on my face while I'm like asleep, and I'm like, you dick, because it's just his belly. And I'm like, I can't breathe, get off me.
Smother
and
you.
I'm like, and I go, Ramses, and he's just like,
So, I'm fucking sick.
No, he's like,
oh, shut up. He's like, shut up.
Just go back to sleep. Just go to sleep.
I'm like, get off me.
It'll all be over soon.
But anyway, that was my crossfade story. That was a bad.
That's nice.
That's a lot.
I'm sorry.
I'm surprised you're alive.
Well,
Congratulations.
We did it all today. Aliens,
We
ghosts, black holes.
did a whole
time
bunch of
travel.
stuff.
I'll go more in depth about that psychic medium reading I had. That was a fun time. But anyway, for Crystal Lady, be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video. We would love to see you guys on the interwebs. And if you want to keep watching our videos, we're right here. We're not going anywhere.
Appreciate you.
So we'll see you around the interwebs. If you want to see us in real life, check out crystallladyband.com to see our calendar. We play all over the place. We'll be in Indiana this week. Well, by the time you see this, we'll be back from Indiana. But next big show here in St. Louis will be the 24th at Heavy Anchor with Vulture Culture and Hazebone. So
I've never been there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, it'll be fun. So we will see you guys soon. Oh, and by the time this is out, the birthday show will be announced. Come to our birthday party, February 29th at Blueberry Hill.
We can finally say
Yeah,
it.
with Q Street and Ground Control. It'll be a ton of fun. There'll be beer, there'll be cake, there'll be titties, kung fu, and funny.
Yo, it's going to be lit.
Especially with Dylan.
I gotta have my titties out.
Yeah, it's
Facts.
Dylan specifically. He
Yes.
got like some
You
birthday
also have
pasties and everything.
you have to cut out the holes, like the chest holes.
I'm just not gonna wear a shirt. What are you talking about?
All right.
bring
I was
my
gonna say
nunchucks.
on your Japanese
Well, anyway-
shirt that you got.
We're Crystal Lady. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Peace.
Peace.